Hello, oopsies. So, thank you for joining me today. I will be talking about how I channel in my readings, how I actually do my readings and my healings, and the process behind that and how it works. So, not just showing you the tools I work with and the way I set them up, but actually how I do the work. I get a very common question of how do you actually see into the candle wax? How do you actually read candle wax and coffee cup and tarot cards, and how do you actually send healing energy to someone? So I'm going to show you that today. So I offer 5 different services on my website, TonyBomboni.com, as you all probably are familiar with by now. And many of you have booked over the years, and I thank you for that and continue to ask that you book, because it's hands down just simply the best way to support this YouTube channel. Otherwise, I cannot keep this operation going. I'd have to stop making videos, and I don't want to do that. So I offer Reiki healing, custom ASMR videos. I'm not going to cover ASMR today because that's pretty straightforward. Tarot readings, Reiki healing, I offer, I think I said, coffee cup readings, and candle wax readings. So today I'll cover Reiki, tarot, coffee, and candle readings, okay? And I offer 15-minute and 30-minute sessions for the candle wax reading. Let me repeat that. I offer 15 and 30-minute sessions for everything. And I offer 1 hour long sessions also for the tarot and for the custom ASMR. So the tarot and custom ASMR have 15, 30, and 1 hour. And the coffee cup and the candle wax readings and the Reiki healings I offer just 15 minutes and 30-minute sessions, okay? So you can click the link below in the description folder, the top pinned comment in the comment section down below, and access my website, or just type TonyBomboni.com, just as my name is spelled out, all one word, so that you can access your personal readings. Just make sure you sign up for my newsletter. So all you have to do is click the book online tab and then fill out the form once you click whatever service you'd like after clicking on the book online tab. So yeah, okay. So let's start off with the candle wax reading. First of all, I get a bowl like this one, okay? Just a bowl, and I make sure that the bowl is either white inside or just this kind of color, It doesn't have to be a light color in particular, just enough for me to be able to easily read through the bowl, like on the water and the wax. And I fill the water mostly like more than half, like 3/4 full-ish, like just about to here is good. I don't want to do it too high because then the water will pour over the bowl if you put the wax in it. So just enough, or it's not too low and there's not enough, space. I need like more space to read. So this is a good amount. And you have to get your tapered candles. They're like the long candles like this one. And I recommend you get different colored ones. You can get white. Excuse me. I'm feeling fine. I had an illness last week and I'm still clearing out stuff. But, see, I have some pink ones available for you now, some cream colored ones that look almost the same color as the bowl, and some green ones, amongst other ones. I have other ones than just these, but these are taper candles. So those long, slim, easy to hold ones. And that enables you to have easy control. So you can hold it and do the reading just like this. You're going to have to hold it like a pair of chopsticks and twirl it around and do the reading. So basically what I do is I light the candle just like this until it stays. The flame stays. And I tilt it over into the bowl. And excuse me, gosh, you don't have to worry about a fire hazard because the candle will just drip in the bowl, in the water, okay? So the water makes sure it repels from any potential fire. And now you notice, I might have to zoom in, but there are some drops falling into the candle bowl. And I simply read the drops. What shape does it appear to me? What feeling do I get? Sometimes when I get deep into a candle reading, I'll just kind of zone out and not really pay attention to the wax, but just keep talking. I'll just keep channeling, and a feeling will just naturally keep arising within me. I'm seeing something that looks like an S or a Z, or it could be a T, whatever, you know, that I'm not actually channeling right now, so I'm just playing pretend, just to play pretend. But use your intuition. That could mean like someone's first name, middle name, or last name with that initial, you know. Sometimes you could look into this and you see like a shock face. Like I see a surprise face right now, and you know, so who's surprised? What are they surprised at, right? And you know, kind of link it to the message. So if someone has a question about love, maybe there's a surprise in love, right? If it's just a general reading, just go with the flow. People always say general readings are always the hardest to do. Not really, you know, you just kind of go with what you're seeing. Usually those come out better anyway, right? I see an elephant here. It looks like a baby elephant with big ears. So maybe someone's having a child. You know, I often associate with animal imagery, spirit animals, and people's spirit guides come through. So you just use your intuition. What do you feel like this really represents? Why are you being shown this? What makes logical sense? You know, what makes spiritual sense? And the more you start doing this and practicing it, the more you're going to channel and do this work. And, you know, honestly, at one, I saw what looked like bacteria or amoebas. Like someone could be working in a lab, you know. So, you know, you just go with that, you know, and flow with it. And after a while, you're going to say, oh, you know, some other random things will just come out. I can't do that now again because I'm not really channeling, but kinda, right? So just keep doing it until the wax reaches an uncomfortable point where it's almost going to burn your finger. Then you let go and let the candle fall into the water, okay? You can choose to keep the wax or not, but that's usually how I go about it. This is just one form of divination for me. There's many forms. This is, I mean, you know, my most common pick is tarot, but from time to time people also like booking the coffee or candle reading. I say give it a try. If you've already done tarot so many times, you want to try something different, you know, go ahead. So there's that. All right. So that's typically how I do my candle readings. I'm going to put that there. And then switch it up to move on to talk about tarot reading. Why not? So typically when I do tarot card readings, I will have I'll have this crystal here. It's labradorite crystal, which helps me channel. Also, you leave it here to help, you know, charge the cards. It kind of looks like a flat fortune-telling ball. You know what I mean? Like a ball that's flat. Like something that you can peer through. Sometimes you can read through crystals. Like I said, there's so many ways to read. You're not just limited to one thing. Honestly, there's so many psychics that just sit there and channel. They don't use any tools, and that's fine, you know. I do that sometimes myself, you know, and especially in the middle of readings, I won't even look at the cards. I'll just talk and talk and talk. So why is this work so wonderful and amazing, and why do you need to do it? Because you will receive so much advice, guidance, and wisdom, and it will help you in a quicker amount of time than you on your own, you know. And you'll receive revelations that spirit guides and your counsel, your team, from up above are trying to reach you and communicate with you, and sometimes there's that blockage. And so someone like me who can channel and is a psychic intuitive will help you, who's also been working with the cards since he was 15, so like 15 years now, and can familiarize with you and your energy and connect with you and help you out and get you what you are looking for. And this is why I do what I do. I love helping people. I enjoy it very much. And I'm definitely hoping to reach more people. So yeah, you can have like an altar cloth like this one, or you could just do it on a hardwood table or a glass table. It doesn't matter really. Some people have like a silk thing. I find like anything that's like a table or a towel is preferred because it's easier to move the cards like this and shuffle. Sometimes the table is too slippery and you need that grip. So my little secret is a good thick towel and fold it over twice. And I usually start my tarot readings shuffling them like this so that I can charge my energy into the cards. Okay? And also flip them upside down so there's like reversals and upright cards. So I'm not the reader to just read upright. Sometimes I do, and I'll tell you when. But for the time being, I shuffle, and then I ask the question while I'm shuffling. Or I set the intention if it's a general reading and I always repeat the client's name. If their name is Kathy, I say, Kathy, this reading is for Kathy. Allow me to see what I need to see. Dear God, dear universe, please allow me to channel the messages. You can have your own little slang or ritual or thing you say to the cards and let the cards speak. And then typically I do a Celtic cross spread, which is one card facing up like this, one card below it facing to the side. It might be hard to see right now because this tablecloth thing is so illustrative. So the colors are probably clashing. I do one card here, and then one card above it, one card to the side, below, and to the left. So top, right, bottom, left. And then I do these on the side and these on the side going up. So kind of like a ladder. All right. So you've seen my work before. You know how this works. Just look up Celtic cross spread tarot and you'll see how it's done. So 1, 2, 3, 4. When you read, this is the fourth one. So I usually put this down as the fourth one, but in a reading, this is the fourth one. 5, 6. So it's like middle 2. Top, bottom, left, right, like a cross. That's what we call a Celtic cross. And then 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? The 4 on the sides going up. So the first one is the present. What is going on right now? The second one on the bottom of it, going sideways, is what's complementing you and what's crossing paths with you at the present. The top one is what's above you, your future. The bottom one's your foundation, what's below you. The left one is the past, the right one is the future. The 7th one is you. The 8th one is them, they, those people, that situation. The 9th one is hopes and fears. And the 10th one is the final outcome card. Okay? So if I have a 10 of Wands in reverse in your foundation, that just tells me like 10 of Wands in general means like a lot of hard work and heaviness, but in reverse it's like a lighter load. So in your foundation it's like you're not looking for something heavy, you're looking for a job maybe that's gonna be not weighing you down, but very good on your spirits. So I'm going to move aside these cards, and then once I do that reading and give the outcome, I usually like to shuffle either like this. I do one spread and I pick 3 cards randomly of that spread. And then I read those 3 cards. Sometimes I do like past, present, future. Sometimes I just read those 3 cards like a storyline. Okay? So I tell a story of what this says, and then how it connects to this, and then how it connects to this. So it could be like what you're going through right now. Sorry, what you've been through, what you're go through right now, and what the future holds for you. So something like that. Or I just simply shuffle the cards like this in my hand, and then I pull 1, 2, 3 cards like that, okay? And then usually I like to do this, pull a final outcome card, or shuffle, and then sometimes I pull what's called like a final outcome card, like just to solidify it if I'm not satisfied with an answer, because sometimes I don't like to end on a bad note. You know, I don't want to end on like Nine of Swords energy, that kind of a negative card. And then I pull another card, and 10 of Cups, way more of a better card to end up on. You know, I don't like to leave people hanging. I like to, you know, give them hope and peace and encouragement. Then when I'm done, I shuffle the cards back, put them together, lay the crystal over it, okay? So you do need to cleanse your cards. So, you know, you can cleanse it by candlelight using incense or a sage stick, or, you know, under moonlight. You can charge it just in your hands, put selenite over it. That helps as well. But if you frequently use your cards, they do need to be charged and cleansed frequently, okay? And I use different card decks based on my intuition. So that was the candle and the tarot. Let's go into maybe the coffee reading. I didn't actually make the coffee this time because I'm not actually reading today for this video, I mean. But let's pretend there's a bunch of coffee grinds here. So basically what I do is I brew some Turkish coffee, which is finely ground coffee. It's like coffee, but you ever see powdered sugar? Yeah, that kind of consistency and texture. I put about a spoonful, maybe a teaspoon, for this size of a cup, you know, into like a little thing that, it's like a warmer on the oven top. And then I fill this cup with just enough water to fill the top, pour that in the little heater thing. And then I mix it together, and then I boil it. I warm it until it comes to a boil, and the coffee will start to rise. And once it's almost at the top risen, or it just starts to bubble, because sometimes if you put too little water in coffee, it's not going to rise to the top. It's just going to kind of start boiling and bubbling. So that's when I turn it off, pour it into the cup. I wait about a minute for it to settle down, and then I gently pour out the cup until I have just enough to maybe cover the bottom and then some. I want some liquid and some mush left over in there so that it can properly spread evenly over the cup. Then I put the plate on top of the cup. I spin it 3 times, and I say the name of the person I'm doing the reading. Then I flip it over, and that way the cup will literally will start to drip on all sides. And you wait about 15 minutes at least, preferably about 2 hours, until it hardens and solidifies. Then you carefully peel it back, and you will see a bunch of coffee grinds on the sides of the cup. And then I start to read. So typically I like to read the plate as well. And then I dig into the cup. So I start reading from this area where my cup handle is. I consider this like January. And then I go kind of like a clock. This is like end of March. This is like end of June. This is like end of September. And then back to end of December, January, right? So I typically like to do that, especially when people are asking for next year readings or the rest of the year, if it's like the beginning of the year, you know. That way I can read. Like, let's say you're coming to me March 30th for a reading, and I'd like to read like your past, what happened in the last quarter of the year, January, February, March. And then I can read April through December. Makes sense? Oftentimes, if you book me like second half of the year, I start to read also the next year, well into next year, okay? So if you come to me June, I could read maybe June through December, and then January through June of the next year. Makes sense? So it just depends on my intuition. But sometimes, of course, I'll read years from now if that happens to come through in a reading. So again, just like with a candle reading, I get a lot of animal symbology that comes through, just like in this towel. And I read that, sometimes I can get like just a good vibe. I can't explain it, but I just get a good impression. That means something good's about to unfold, or you're going through good moments, good experiences. And a lot of times people come to me with stuff that's heavy, and then I can't help but have a good feeling. That tells me everything I need to know, that your issue will be resolved, everything will be okay, So sometimes if it's helpful just a book to hear that, that means a lot to someone at a time of dire need, So I'd have different coffee cups I read from. This is just one of many. These are the ones I used at the very beginning of my work in 2019, doing coffee readings and stuff like that. I actually don't think I started coffee readings until like 2020, maybe 2021. But I use much larger mugs now, and still you want to choose a cup that's not like a mug, like a coffee mug, you know what I mean? It has to be like a little bit of space in the bottom, but kind of winds out like this, like pretty widely. Not a cup that's like this, right? That shape. That's not going to work for this, really. You need something like this that gradually kind of winds out, and so you can read it. You need a wide depth to read, so you can spin this around and read it. You can't do that with a regular coffee mug, you know what I mean? So get a tea cups are great for this, and you can find them like Marshall's, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, those kind of places. I think typically you can find like cool stuff like that that's for the home and affordable and still looks fancy and nice, very presentable for the reader. But this is a good Halloween one, actually, because it looks like spider webs. So a lot of times I'll see like a great pillar or like a divide that comes in a reading, and sometimes it'll be like 2 or 3. I'll say that's like 2 or 3 of something. Sometimes there's as much as 4 or 5 of them, and I'll say there's something with that, like a number association. And again, I'll link it with their question for the reading if there is a question, and especially what month it is. So I'll notice, where's that line? Oh, that's July, August, right? That's something there. That's like a big barrier you have to go through, or something like that. There's so many ways to read. There's so many books also on coffee readings and interpretations, how to read the tea leaves. You can do tea leaf reading as well for these. Not just that, but again, just like the candle reading, sometimes I just zone out and I just stare into the cup and I just get a feeling. Like it doesn't have to be anything that shows up. It's just a feeling, a knowing that just comes out through the cup. And only if you've been doing this work a while, when that happens, and you can't explain it, but that's sometimes when the best advice comes out, or the best channeling. And you'd be surprised, do it like a party trick. Try it with your friends, when they come over, or your family members. You'd be surprised what you actually tap into if you just trust your intuition and trust what you're feeling or sensing, and then you can turn it into something great. I have a tarot reading online course on my website, so you can give that a shot if you want to learn more about channeling and being a psychic and doing that line of work. So that was the coffee cup reading. I'm going to move on to the last part, the Reiki healing. You always want to have some paper on you, or I like to have a good notebook with a pen at hand. So when I'm ready to do this, I just simply open to a blank page. I have my phone usually here with the booking form open when you book on TonyBomboni.com. And I write your name at the top, always. And then I write your email address below that. Then I write your phone number. Below that, if you did submit one, you don't have to by any means. All you have to do is submit a first name and an email address. That's it, Then I write your scheduled day and time of booking. And it doesn't matter what day and time you book with me a service of Reiki, 15 or 30 minute. I'll write it down anyway because that helps channel your energy. The point of me writing all this is to channel you, who you are, specific to you. You're the only one with that name, email address, phone number, and scheduled day and time. And the reason for your healing session, whether it's depression, whether it's anxiety, whether it's grief, whether it's guilt, whether it's stress, whether it's headache, whether it's foot pain and leg pain, I write all that down. You can give me a whole list of things. There's no limit. Okay? So just, make it reasonable to the time. So I always say to people, like, even with tarot readings, limit 4 questions per 15 minutes. So an hour reading, 16 questions. You know what I mean? Same with the coffee, same with the candle. Same with the Reiki, like maybe heal 4 up to 4 things every 15 minutes, 8 things for a 30 minute. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, then I write, and that's that. And then I just simply rip out the page. This is going to be called your pamphlet. Okay. So the theme today is dogs, apparently. And I fold it up 2 ways. One way like this, one way like that, until I get this shape, and that's just enough room for me to conceal the note so it's private and the energy is trapped in there, but also for me to draw the Reiki healing symbols. And I start writing the Chokure symbol, and then the Seiheki symbol. And then I go on with the Onjas Shon and on and on and on. I won't do the whole thing. I don't want to actually do it. I just realized I shouldn't be doing that because I shouldn't disrespect spirit by writing all the symbols out, because they're going to think I'm starting to do a Reiki and I'm not. So I'm just going to squiggle that. But yeah. I write the Onjas Shonen symbol after that. And then sometimes, but not always, then I will do the Daikomyo symbol at the end. Typically I like to do that for a full-blown 30-minute Reiki with a lot of stuff I feel like needs to be taken care of, or someone that comes to me with a lot of issues. That's going to be important to activate that symbol to get extra healing. So then I also have typically, excuse me, just pulling random 3 cards. 3 cards for a 15-minute session and 4 cards for a 30-minute session. And I read the cards and I say, oh, okay, so you're going through this and you're going through that, and here's the solution. And the cards are, again, my own little technique. People don't usually do this with Reiki. I do, because it's my technique, okay? It's almost like when someone patents their own technique. That's it, okay? It just sets me apart from other healers, and it's just my own unique thing. I like to do and enjoy, and hey, offers also encouragement. But hey, if you want a tarot reading, this is a sample, right? If you feel Reiki maybe is just not for you and you prefer tarot, like I said, people mostly book my tarot for some reason, constantly, time and time again, tarot, okay? For the most part. And Reiki's my also number 2 pick, but yeah. Next to, I would say, custom ASMR videos. But putting that aside, once I'm done reading the message, in no particular order, then I put it under the pamphlet. Again, all this is you, your energy, your identity here. And then I draw the symbols, Chokure, Seiki, Onjosu Shonen, Daikomyo. And then I say thank you, Manantakata Universe, Reiki Masters, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, any positive influence, energy force to allow me to do this healing session today on name. I give the name of the person I'm doing. And then I draw the symbols, Chokure, Seiki, Onjosu Shonen, Daikomyo, on the doll as well. And then that transfers the energy over from this to the doll. I need a doll as you to be channeling the energy on. So this is going to be you, okay? And I'll lay you on top of the cards in the pamphlet. I usually like to have a candle lit in the corner, okay? while I'm doing this. Then I usually have your crystals laid out. I pick 5 to 6 stones for a 15-minute and 8 to 10 crystals for a 30-minute healing. What crystals, you ask? Whatever issue you're going through. Crystals for stress if you're going through stress. Crystals for depression if you're suffering with depression. Easy, right? So I'll tell you the names, like here. This is this. This is that. This is this. This is that. And then I email you at the end of this session, once I'm done, with the names of the crystals and a picture of your altar. The altar will typically look like this, where I lay crystals on top of it, the candle lit there. Sometimes if it's a 30-minute, I'll bring in the selenite wand usually, but sometimes for a 15-minute as well. I'll also lay that next to it as well, like this, and lay the doll next to it like this. So I'll take a picture of that and then send it to your email, and that way you can always print it out as a picture, lay your hands over it, pray over it, meditate over it, continue imagining that healing energy sent your way. And I leave that altar to charge on slabs of selenite. For a 15-minute, I leave it for a day. For a 30-minute, I leave it for 2 days to charge, so Reiki can continue to send your way and give you healing while we're away. Minding our business, living our lives, right? So typically I will start first while I'm doing this session. Again, this is not any particular order. I'm scattering it, I guess, intentionally. But I will lay my hands over it. I have to kind of charge them and then connect with your energy. And I feel your energy. I go like this, wave my hands over a few times, connect with who you are, the identity of you, and feel your energy. And then I send Reiki, and I start from the heart center. Then I move up, let's say sometimes to the root, sometimes to the crown. It depends. And go back to the heart. You always want to bring energy back to the heart. So I'm not really going to teach how to do Reiki here. Today I'm just telling you what I do, okay? And then once I do that, then after a few minutes of time, I lay crystals out over the doll, meaning you, usually in the order of like the chakras, so root to crown, and what makes sense for that crystal if it's like a specific chakra crystal, right? And then I charge them again. Then I do the selenite, tap over them, charge them, clear that negative energy. Selenite clears those blocks, those densities. I call upon your angels. I do all that work. Sometimes I use a gong singing bowls. Sometimes I lay over a candle over you several times. Sometimes I'll leave it just sitting there on you, to send that warm, healing glow energies. And a lot of times I give advice. A lot of times I tell you what I feel is wrong with you and what's actually wrong. So many times people come to me and they say, this is wrong with me, Tony. But then I'm like, no, actually it's this. I'm actually feeling like it's something else. So that's what this amazing work is for. So I always recommend someone from time to time. People come for healings because it rebalances your chakras, heals your aura, clears any toxic energies, helps your body heal, just to even give yourself that 15 or 30 minutes to just lay down, sit down, get comfortable, and heal. And work on yourself and, pay attention to your body. How do you feel, right? You can't heal unless you know how do you feel. So then after the session's complete, I say my thank yous. I say adieu to Madame Takata ancestors. And Madame Takata, of course, is one of the founding fathers, as they call them, of Reiki and in Japan. And you have to call upon them. That's just how it works. You learn that studying Reiki. So yes, basically all you need to know is then after the session, I ask you to drink a lot of water, okay? Get plenty of rest. Eat a light, healthy meal to help ground you back to earth, because these energies can make you lightheaded and dizzy and get you feeling carried away. And sometimes you temporarily feel worse before you feel better because we just cleared out a lot of toxins or something like that. Now, this is never meant to replace a mental health diagnosis or medication. I do have to emphasize that as a disclaimer. This is just entertainment purposes only, okay? I have to say that. Even though I believe in my work, I still have to say that, okay? So, yes. Thank you for understanding. But yeah, that's that, guys. Again, I've been doing Reiki pretty much almost just as long, like since 2019-ish, so 2020 maybe, actively, So you can book any of these services any day, anytime, 24/7, okay? I'm always available for these. And it doesn't matter what day and time you book a Reiki, I will do it when I get to it, okay? It does not have to be the same day and time I sit here and heal you that you have to sit there and be healed, because space and time does not really work that way. And also, it's because it's a pre-recorded video, you're going to get the video to watch back and be healed anyway. Does that make sense? So don't worry about day and time, just book it. I will get to it within a day or two, or sometimes a few hours, okay? So yeah, and I use different dolls for different reasons. Sometimes I just use a black doll if you need like protection or negative energy removal. Sometimes I use a green for heart chakra healing. Green is the color of the heart chakra. Or healing in general, stuff like that. Pink for love, red for love, or for root chakra. It doesn't matter. But I definitely use my intuition with that. And sometimes I'll just sit there 5-10 minutes before the session, any session, and I'll just channel. I'll just be like, oh, what does this person really need right now? And that will just come through in the spirit. Sometimes spirit will knock things over, like remind me, or have me stub my toe or bump into something. And I'm like, oh, they actually need that. Or, they'll suddenly draw me obsessively to a crystal for no reason. I'm like, oh, that's for the client, There's so many things that they do that is very funny, actually. Spirit always works with me. I always refer back to this one where I stepped on a pregnant spider and it spewed a bunch of babies, and then my client ends up pregnant like 2 weeks later. So stuff like that, they always show me. And so, whether you call it a gift or an ability, whatever you want to say, is just constantly stuff like that happens that I can't really describe. I'm not afraid of it. It's just spirit. So yeah. But thank you for allowing me to show you how I do my work, my tarot, coffee cup, candle wax, and Reiki healing. I hope to see some of you sometime soon. Book one of these. You can book all of them at once. You can book multiple services. There's no limit, really, okay? You can book 2 30-minute Reikis if you want a whole hour session. The limit is yours. Like, the limit is up to you, okay? I'm open to any booking, any service, any session with you, and I very much look forward to doing this for you. And I always tell people, a lot of people also, I get this comment like, they say like, oh, I can't really do this right now, or I can't afford it or something. You'd be surprised, sometimes when I've had to give my last dollar and dime on something, and it actually was the biggest breakthrough for me possible, or the biggest blessing, and it opened doors for me. And when you do this work, you will actually start to channel yourself too. You will open that doorway for you to be able to not only do this kind of work as well, but also just be more intuitive, because we're connecting with your intuition here. And this is powerful work that helps you tap into you. So I always emphasize to people why this line of work is so important. And it's not something to fear. They want you to be afraid of this because they know it works. Does that make sense? Because you can only be afraid of your own power, and that's a fact. Why be afraid of your own abilities that are already innate within you, your God-given birthright gift, So thank you for allowing me the honor and privilege to use my ability to help you today. I love to help people, and I hope to help more. So please book a service today, TonyBomboni.com. Take care, poopsies. Hope you enjoyed this session. You know what I mean? It did feel like a session. Take care.